get some flags, might be quite nice. Hats from the Empire. Maybe. Anyway, I just thought we'd do something a little bit more light-hearted today because of the international news, yes, which is horrific. And all those usual social commentators that you can't think can get any worse have certainly excelled themselves in the last few days. So I thought today we'd just take a little stroll elsewhere around the block and get some fresh air. I thought we'd have a look at Stephen Eddington, a man we last saw, I believe, at the National Conservative, the NatCon's conference, where he was smiling at the pretty ladies a lot. Anyway, he's been doing the rounds with the Telegraph, offering exposés on things that aren't particularly exposés, and I thought we'd just have a quick look at that today and then take a side swipe at James S's, just because I'm mean like that. But anyway, yesterday he posted up on Twitter this, which was one of those kind of really indignant things that right wingers do when they don't really know what else to say. It's just indignant that people could actually do this in 2023, for God's sake. Yeah. So more on woke border force in Home Office internet blog published in August 22. You see, he's done some digging. So it's a burning news story. If it was last year, entitled Behind the Scenes in Command and Control. Yeah, it was a great game, wasn't it? No, not that one. Civil servants are invited to meet some of the characters in the border force. Yeah, sounds like an intro to one of those afternoon TV shows. Sounds great, doesn't it? One immigration officer, who proudly identifies as non-binary, great, is said to have felt motivated to join the Home Office to help promote diversity and inclusion. Brilliant, a real feel-good story. The Post describes how the officer is currently in the process of planning well-being talks on ADHD to hopefully support others by helping to raise awareness of what having ADHD means at work. Great! Just the sort of keen employee you like, who's raising these kind of issues in terms of barriers in the workplace. Brilliant, eh? Let's carry on. Helen Joyce, Director of Advocacy at the campaign group Sex Matters, told the Telegraph, some people still use the rainbow flag to signal acceptance of gay people, but for others it's a symbol of extreme trans activism, the belief that men who claim to be women really are women. Public servants should be visibly fair and impartial. Yeah. Going to be fun having her at the party, isn't it? Said nobody ever. Wearing symbols of personal beliefs suggests they're proselytizing and maybe even hostile to non-believers. Even if one particular symbol is harmless, it shows bias. Yes. So there you go, folks, okay? You mustn't wear things at work, and you certainly mustn't do things which promote awareness, and you certainly mustn't go for work for an organisation all keen like because Helen doesn't want you to do it. Anyway, moving on, he then says, meanwhile, Telegraph reveals that Border Force are allowed to wear rainbow epaulets on their uniforms to celebrate Pride. Yeah. And is that deadly? In September, the Home Sec wrote to police chiefs officers should not be wearing or waving badges or flags that undermine the oath of impartiality or which may lead members of the public to question their impartiality. Yeah, except they're not police people, are they? And once again, what is it about the whole notion of inclusivity that's such an appalling thing? Yeah? Should we go back to James Anderton and his very, very not particularly positive attitude to gay people in Manchester in the 80s, yeah? That would really be great, wouldn't it, eh? That would please Helen a great deal. Not anyone else, mind you. Anyway, moving on. I'm not going to read all of this because it's just a list of things that you're supposed to hate, but oddly I don't. Sociology teacher, you see. I can also reveal civil servants wasted time on National Inclusion Week between the 25th and the 29th of September. I don't know if that was last year or not, but I wonder what wasted time means. It means doing some, yeah? If diversity events were held across Whitehall, including the Department of Business and Trades hosted an LGBTQ plus network panel discussion and analysed training. Great! That will probably make them a more inclusive and happier workplace. But Helen won't like it. On 26th September, the Ministry of Justice hosted an event entitled Equality versus Equity, which featured discussions of race in the workplace. On 27th September, and the Ministry of Defence hosted online events lasting 45 minutes, discussing diversity and inclusive language, neurodiversity, race and race action plan, and transgender and non-binary. Yes, all the things that Stephen and the Telegraph really hate. But one has to say, okay, mate, but where exactly is the awfulness in all of this, other than you and Helen just don't like it? And really, mate, you've had to do a lot of digging to come up with this stuff, haven't you? Yeah, wasted time. I don't know. What were the reports back from the people attending the training? We'll never know. No. Anyway, just moving on to a similar kind of setup. We have James Esses, who, when he's not sort of banging on about picking out very particular scenes in shows that he thinks are wrong, you know, I don't know. Let's just have a nice, you know, kind of Stalinist view of that. He's into this whole kind of curtain twitching thing, whereby he spends his entire day looking for things that people are doing wrong and then being offended by them. So here we go, right? Okay. We went undercover to a Stonewall workshop on trans allyship attended by big hitters including Budweiser, advocating removing the word mother from maternity policies, including swathes of society who believe, insulting swathes of society who believe in biology. Yes, undercover. Signed up under a different name, didn't have his video on, so you wouldn't be able to see Mr. Beardy himself. A full audio recording of the event has now been included within the article, and you can hear yourself the lies, manipulation, insults, and erosion of biological reality. Great. I'm going to really want to do that. Except, of course, James, it's just your opinion, isn't it? And you have now reached the point, having, I don't know, whenever is your particular trial coming up, eh? I know it's quite soon because you've had to extend the amount of time that people are going to give you money. No doubt we'll be hearing from the Free Speech Union any day now, prompting people to give you another few thousand quids for your case. How many years is it now? Never mind, eh? It's a living, isn't it? Yeah. But there you are, twitchy curtain, yeah? Just waiting with your telescope to see if you can find something with nudity so you can be upset. I don't know with these people. I mean, why can't they get a real job, eh? Yeah? And these are the people that bang on very often, like, you know, members of the Telegraph and the Free Speech Union and the rest of them, about choice and what people should be allowed to do, and the overbearing state what is on their back. Yeah? And here they are, twitchy curtain. Oh, you can't say that. Oh, I don't like that television show. And my mate Joyce, Helen Joyce, she'll give you a mouthful. Anyway, glad I got that off my back. It was a long day. It was a long day yesterday. Anyway, do have a magnificent Tuesday. Enjoy the warm weather. Yeah, whilst you can, because they'll ban it soon. Enjoy.